Good evening, good evening. Welcome, everyone. How are you this evening? You! Wonderful. Well, it is an absolute pleasure to be able to welcome you all to a very significant event. The very first ever Top Tier Keynote. Go ahead and give a round of applause. Now, as you can imagine, tonight's not just any other event or any other night. Our aim here is to truly set the tone and to have the essence and to show the essence of what it means to dare to be great. Now, our mission at Top Tier has always been clear from the very jump, and that is to be able to provide capital to traders who otherwise wouldn't have access to capital. And we could not be any more aligned and any more excited about this mission than we are today. Something that I want to note is accessibility, and that the fact that this industry has never been more accessible than it is today. Now, partially, of course, we have technology to thank for that, but I think we can all agree, more importantly, we've had brave individuals, some of them in this very room with us today, who have continued to push the boundaries and who have allowed for us to reach almost every corner of the globe, or at least that's what it feels like. Now, with that being said, accessibility lets individuals participate, learn, and grow with Top Tier Trader. Now, before we get into the thick of it, again, I first and foremost just want to thank every single one of you for joining us here live tonight in Miami, Florida, where Top Tier is headquartered, and not to mention the thousands of individuals who are tuning into this very live stream. At Top Tier Trader, our community, it expands across different continents, bringing together a group of diverse and unique individuals who are all united by a common interest of trading, of passion, and a path that some may deem as unconventional. Now, in order to understand where Top Tier Trader is today, and more importantly, where Top Tier is headed, we first have to get clear on the initial who and the initial why behind Top Tier Trader. And I could not do that without bringing up our 4 founders of Top Tier Trader, starting with Q Banks and Anthony Williams.
Thank you.
Now, Q, obviously your story doesn't begin with being the founder of Top Tier Trader. Can you walk us through where your story begins?
Well, for one, I'm Quillen Black, aka Q Banks, on social medias. I've been inside of the trading space for about 10 years now. Come this December, I think I've impacted about hundreds of thousands of traders all around the entire world by providing educational platforms and free content on YouTube and other ways as well. So at the end of the day, like I'm all about giving value as much as possible so people can actually grow and experience life a different kind of way as well, you know? So like now we are here trying to build a amazing company called Top Tier Trader and, you know, just change lives.
Thank you. And Anthony, where does your story begin?
Yeah, so I started trading about a little over a decade ago now. Been in the trading space. I found it when I was young and really wanted to go an untraditional, way of business, way of life, being an entrepreneur growing up. And I just wanted to find something that fit me. And I dove in, I studied trading for 5 years before I even became profitable. And it's just been an incredible story getting to impact so many lives and, seeing everyone here and seeing people that I see all around the world impacting lives. It's just been truly, truly incredible. And, between me and you, we get, millions of views, and seeing these people and seeing what they have and how we provide value is just truly incredible.
I know that you two have both impacted my life and my trading. And I know that a lot of individuals in the room could probably say the same. To help further tell the story of where Top Tier began, I'd like to welcome the other founders of Top Tier Trader, the president, Jamal Hollingsworth, and the chief operating officer, Nicholas Castillo, to the stage. Now, Nick, we'll start with you. Can you share with us your background and how you became the COO of Top Tier Trader?
Yeah, thank you, Brittany. For those who don't know me, my name is Nicholas Castillo. I'm our Chief Operating Officer. of AI Technologies Co. and Toptier Trader. How I started is I started my career as a corporate attorney doing corporate finance for small businesses. That's when I connected with both my partners here, and they were in the trading space. I also used to be a trader, and funny enough, I thought I was a good trader until I met real good traders. And I realized that I wanted to focus more on what I was better at, which was building businesses and things in the trading space to benefit traders. So that brought us to building Top Tier Trader.
And Jamal, obviously, again, your story doesn't begin with being the president of Top Tier. Where does your story start?
Yeah, so I'm Jamal Hollingsworth. I'm 30 years old and I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am the president of Top Tier Trader. I got into the trading space in 2019, September, so late to 2019. But prior to that, I was in the sales and marketing industry. I had my first sales company at 22 years old, and that was it. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. A lot of invaluable skills and experience that I learned in sales that I think helped contribute to what we're doing here at Top Tier. But when I got introduced to trading, immediately I was just obsessed with it. Honestly, I went all in. The first 6 months, I blew a lot of money quicker than I could deposit it. I was just gambling it. And I told myself, I was like, if I want to do this as a career, because I thought that anybody that can make money by clicking a button on a computer or on a laptop anywhere in the world should jump on an opportunity like that. So I said, I need to get serious about this. I started studying it. About a year into learning trading, I met Anthony, who has been now considered family, but one of my best friends, an amazing mentor. He's invested a lot of his time into me and my family. And 2021 was when I kind of had my first breakthrough. That's when I was introduced to prop firms. And my first payout, like that changed my life. And still to this day, I'm a funded trader with prop firms. And that kind of led, that whole prop firm aspiration and the excitement in it kind of led to where we are today and why I'm the president of Top Tier.
There you go. Now you're saying you've been trading prop firms for a while. Why did you see and how did you see the importance in the prop firm industry? How did that impact you?
One word I would say to answer that would be opportunity. Honestly, I had a mentor in sales that would just ingrain in my head, understand your opportunity. And it always stuck with me because I feel that if you truly understand your opportunity, I know it sounds easy to say, but you'll be someone who doesn't take shortcuts. They're not looking for the easy way out. They're always going to do what's necessary, even when you don't want to do it, because you have an amazing opportunity. And wherever that may be, whether it's career, relationships, regardless, if you understand the opportunity, you'll treat it with respect. And I will never forget, it was February of 2021 is when I got my first payout ever. It was like 19K and some change. And light bulbs just went off. I was like, wow, like I didn't have $200,000 of my own capital to put into an account and trade. So I immediately started thinking about how a business model like this could change other people's lives. And considering I had been an entrepreneur my whole life owning businesses, I was like, this is a business model that I think could be really positive. And so I knew I wanted to build something. I wanted to provide an opportunity. I wanted to bring value to the industry that was new to me. But more importantly, I wanted to bring trustworthiness because I had heard about prop firms maybe 4 or 5 months before I ever got into them. The reason why I hesitated was I was really skeptical, to be honest. I was like, there's no way I can pay a company money, make 80% of profits on a 200K account, and they're going to give me this large sum of capital back. They're just going to scam me and take my money. So I was very hesitant. And then once I saw it to be true, I was like, okay, this is legit. And I took the idea to Anthony, actually, because, at that time we had a great relationship. And the reason why I went to him was because I knew I didn't know Nick and Q at the time, but I knew they were a team and I knew they were successful entrepreneurs. And I knew that they had the means, the resources, the financial capability to actually make this idea a reality. So I pitched the idea to him. He fought me on it for a couple of months. We went back and forth. But I was in Myrtle Beach actually with my family when he called me one day and he was like, yo, we're gonna launch a prop firm and you're gonna run it. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And so the next 6, I had no idea what to expect or what we were doing. I just knew how to run companies. But the next 6 months, that's where we busted it. We were company formation, website, tech, everything that makes the business and the product what it is, we built. And then October 18th, 2021 was when we actually launched the company. And a fun fact about that, my youngest daughter, who's sleeping right now with her nanny, she was born the same day. So my wife and I joke about it all the time. She literally gave birth and 45 minutes later, she's over there doing skin to skin with our daughter. And I'm on a computer launching Top Tier. So yeah, we call her the Top Tier baby.
are. There we are. I mean, Anthony, going off of what Jamal just mentioned, he said that initially you weren't interested. How did that, where did that switch come from? And what was the motivation to drive the idea to the other two guys?
So we were out of the we were I guess in a different realm, I guess in a different space. So we weren't used to prop firms. We didn't know much about them. I never tested one. I never tried one. And so of course, like any other idea, when it came to me, and I was like, yeah, like I don't foresee it. I don't foresee it being around because it sounded too good to be true. Like he thought, like he said, and then I fought him a lot on it, and I was like, there's just no way this is gonna. I was like, they're not gonna last. They're not gonna last. And sure enough, they kept lasting. And
How
then
long was that time frame, though?
it was probably 3 to 6 months. Yeah. And then I just saw them popping up, and I was like, okay, they're gonna really they're here to stay. And like I feel like the industry has a good and a bad rep. You know what I mean? And we try to be the best and the foremost of that, and trying to provide the best value. And then I saw them coming, and I was like, this is gonna be huge, and this is gonna be a huge space. And then when I took to them, they did the same thing. They did the same thing that I did to Jamal, and they were like, "No, we're not doing this." And I saw it, and I was like, we have to be the one that's leading the industry, because we are actual traders. Like, we've been trading, we know what it's like to trade, and we know what we want to provide to our people, our community. This is y'all are our people, and we knew that we wanted to be the best.
And then Q, based off of that, what inspired you to also say yes? Because again, it sounds like everyone first reaction was no. What inspired you to say yes and to build Top
So
Tier?
I was all in for the main fact that a beginning trader, like a lot of times, capital is always the issue. Like they're working a full-time job, like they don't really have much money to invest because they still have the obligations of bills each and every single month. So like if you're going to be depositing while even working, you're depositing the bare minimum, which means that like if you're depositing the bare minimum, a lot of times like the money that you're making from that is also the bare minimum as well. So the fact that you could actually go through an evaluation process on Top Tier Trader and then get funded up to $300,000 to then get paid out 80% or more sometimes, it's incredible. So like when they actually got on a call eventually, I was all in for the opportunity. I thought it was a no-brainer because for the main fact that we've been in this space for so long, we understand like the needs and wants of a trader. So from that point, we just pretty much just went, face front inside this opportunity and just thrived at it.
It's really built by traders.
Literally.
We really are traders.
Yeah.
And then Nick, can you share some of the both hardships but also successes that you've faced as the COO of Top Tier Trader, and then also why it was necessary for you to hire a CEO?
Sure. When we launched Top Tier in 2021, I'll tell you a little bit about the resistance, why. We were engaging in so many other ventures. We were busy, and this was such a new space. Traders weren't really sure what prop firms were. People were skeptical about it. I kept telling the guys, I'm like, we're busy. We got other things. And, Anthony's insistence, then meeting with Jamal, and Q's just optimism towards doing it, we all decided and said, okay, you know what? We're going to tackle this. Running around while doing everything we were doing, and we decided to tackle it. It took a few months forming the company, getting everything together, setting up the tech, figuring out who our market is and what traders we were looking to impact. It was awesome. But when we launched, we immediately started facing some hurdles right from the start. Our first month, kind of tooting our own horn, was so successful that the banks, credit card processors, and financial institutions, traditional ones, looked at us and said, hold on, you guys shouldn't be doing this. What's going on? Explain it to us. Tell us this industry. So we took almost 4 months with Jamal and I talking to banks, credit card processors, going all the way up to the CEO of some banks, explaining to them the business model, writing out the structure. I'm writing legal opinions to explain it to them, and what this industry was before they knew how to handle it. And that was one of the first big hurdles we had to overcome, right? But after that, things started rolling and we really started gaining some steam and momentum. One of the coolest first days we had was when we realized that in total we had paid out $1 million to traders. That first day where we hit $1 million paid out to other people, we realized, I called the guys. Jamal and I were already waiting for that number. We called Q and Anthony. We looked at it. We all were on the phone like, dude, this is awesome. We had nothing other to say than just kind of celebrating, right? And that was really cool. And then, comes along other hurdles. You're dealing with meta, you're dealing with ads. Going back and explaining to them this industry was one of those things we had to tackle while running a small team that we had, and kind of doing this as entrepreneurs, right? You're hustling, you're in that hustle culture. But then the second big hurdle came at us so fast, and it was really cool. It was the first month where in 1 month we paid out $1 million to traders. And that was surreal. We said, whoa, it took so long to get to 1 million total. And now we're paying out $1 million in 1 month to traders. This is people's lives that are being impacted, people that are taking this money that didn't have access to it. And there's a story of someone that I met, and I wish I could remember his name. David. David, yes, it clicked. During the FX Summit last year, and he came to me and he was explaining that he got a $20,000 payout from Toptier. And he lived in Colombia and he was just a trader. And I'm like, well, you're here in Miami. He was like, dude, with the 20,000, I was able to come to Miami to meet you guys, to talk to you about the product. And after you explained to me the impact that he had trading with us and the way he treated his account, I really knew we were doing something. And I thought that it was really cool. So we continued scaling, we continued growing. And I think that leads us to why we're here today, right? We realized that what we were growing was big and we wanted to really be able to focus on it. And in order to make the impact that it deserved to make, really take it seriously and grow it the way it should be grown. So that led us to looking for who would be the steward of this company, right? Who's going to take it from the level that we took it, be able to 10x it, and frankly have events like this, have impact of traders where they're recognizing it and promoting the transparency that traders are looking for in this industry, right? Being able to provide them with the knowledge that they're looking for in this industry and take it to that level. And that kind of led us to finding the person you're going to introduce.
Well, on behalf of myself, I know individuals in the crowd, and definitely those who are tuning into the live stream, I want to say thank you, gentlemen. Give it up for the founders of Toptier Trader. You!
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Perfect. Here we go. Now, I want to share the fact that obviously Toptier Trader has impacted my life. It's impacted traders' lives, and we'll definitely have the opportunity to see that within the next few minutes. Because we now know where Toptier Trader started, it's important to understand not only where Toptier is today, but more importantly, where Toptier is headed. So everyone, please give a round of applause for the CEO of Toptier Trader, Dave Gutman.
Toptier means to all of you, and the weight of that has never left my shoulders. I recall the interview process with Nick and Jamal quite clearly. After a 2-hour getting to know you lunch with Nick and Jamal, they brought me into their offices for a long whiteboarding session, where they went over the current business and some of the challenges they were facing. It was clear they already had a great business, but they were facing some growing pains. I spent the next hour or so asking questions and outlined how I'd attack some of the problems they were facing. And at the end of the interview, we shook hands and they all but told me I had the job. At the same time, I was about to get married. A few weeks went by and I hadn't heard anything, but I was pretty distracted with the wedding preparations and didn't give too much thought to it. I figured they'll get back to me when they're ready. In an effort to surprise my new bride, I'd rewritten the lyrics to the song 1,000 Years by Christina Perri for our first dance. A friend recorded the lyrics for me, but unfortunately the recording was terrible. It was the day before the wedding, and I was scrambling to see if there was some way to salvage the recording. My daughter's boyfriend had a close friend who was a sound engineer who thought maybe he could fix it. My daughter's boyfriend's name is Nick. There are only 2 Nicks in my address book. My daughter's boyfriend and Nick Castillo, from whom I was awaiting a job offer. As you can imagine, I emailed the sound file 1,000 years to the wrong Nick. Weeks later, when I did receive a job offer, Nick confided to me, dude, when you trolled me by sending the song 1,000 years, I knew you were the guy. So I laughed and I confessed to Nick that sadly I'm not that clever. But that was the start of an incredible journey, only now in its second year, and what a wild ride it's been. By way of background, I have an undergraduate degree from Brown University and an MBA from Wharton, but that was a long time ago, and the value of a college degree has decreased considerably. I'm very clear-eyed about the current state of higher education and the impact on helping someone pursue a high-paying career. I can tell you with certainty that if I were growing up today, I would have never gone to college or gotten an MBA. Now, don't get me wrong, higher education has its place. If you want to build bridges, you need to go to school and get an engineering degree. If you want to be a brain surgeon, medical school is clearly going to be in your future. But for many other pursuits, I think you can get a much better education for free on social media or YouTube than you can at Harvard. In my opinion, when it comes to being an entrepreneur or other self-directed career paths like trading, you learn way more from doing than you will at a college or university. Once I realized how many successful traders had little to no higher education, thinking about the path forward for Toptier. Society often, talks about trying to level the playing field for everyone so that people have access to the same opportunities. While society's made a lot of progress, we're not there yet. And I would say this is more true in the areas of education, finance, and access to capital than almost any other parts of our society. I realized that's the problem Toptier is solving. Obviously, Toptier's origin story with Q and Anthony is a shining example of the change we're trying to bring about. When they launched Toptier, it was to bring the same opportunities to others so as many people as possible could achieve some of the same success and financial independence that they had. The values Toptier was built on come from the experiences of Q, Anthony, Nick, and Jamal, and they remain our North Star to help remind us that we remain on the right path. Toptier has 4 core values: trust and transparency, customer first, innovation, and community. The last core value, community, means both being good citizens locally here in South Florida, but also in the world at large. Just over the last year, Toptier has done everything from sponsoring a local handicapped gentleman with Toptier signage on his electric wheelchair, to planting trees in Kenya and Tanzania, to providing groceries to those in need in Colombia, to giving away over 5 million in free trading accounts to people around the world. Our goal isn't just to be good, but to do good. I know part of what gets the team excited is that as an organization, we aren't just focused on making money, but on making a difference. I have a few interesting statistics to share with you. Only 6.7% of the world's population has a college degree. 25% of the world's population don't even have a bank account. Less than half of Americans have more than $500 in savings, and the average global monthly income is under $300. For most people, there are limited options to access education that will provide a livable income. There are limited options to provide full access to financial services. And there are limited options for people to have access to capital. Toptier provides all these things to our customers. Now let's talk a little bit more about our customers. All of you, of course, have met Brittany Hughes, who joined the Toptier family towards the end of last year. One of the many great ideas Brittany brought with her was that we should do a better job of highlighting our successful traders. While Q and Anthony's success was inspiring, to some it seemed unattainable given the magnitude of their achievements. By highlighting a broader range of successful traders from all walks of life, we believe we can make our offering appealing to a wider audience. We started bringing some of our successful traders to Miami to give them an exciting, one-of-a-kind experience where they met the entire Toptier team while being treated to everything from driving a race car to staying in a mansion to attending the Formula One event here in Miami. We called this our Toptier experience. For our first ever Toptier experience, we selected one of our most profitable funded traders, Josh Barnes. Josh's story, like many successful traders, is an inspiring one. Even by his own account, Josh was a mediocre high school student, and like a lot of kids, was just going through the motions. On his journey to find out what he wanted to do with his life, he hit some speed bumps. Josh ended up dropping out of college and having several failed entrepreneurial attempts, leaving him with over $200,000 in debt and no closer to knowing what he wanted to do next. That's when Josh came across the forex prop trading industry. He quickly understood that if he could learn to be a consistent, disciplined trader, that with a prop trading account, he could control his downside risk while giving himself a real chance for substantial upside, given the access to considerable virtual capital that prop trading firms provide. Josh didn't have a training mentor. He had to create his own path. And a lot of trial and error later, he finally found a trading strategy that worked. In only a few months, Josh was able to completely pay off his debts. And I know this part of his journey firsthand, as Josh got payouts of over $100,000 in a single month with Toptier. When Josh came to Miami for his Toptier experience, I think he was surprised that Toptier didn't just bring him in to create some content and send him on his way. Instead, what he saw was a purpose-driven organization with people that care about what we're doing and for whom we're doing it. After his visit to Miami, Josh, being the class act that he is, sent me a package with a thoughtful handwritten card and a wonderful book, Hidden Potential by Adam Grant, which, by the way, I highly recommend. Let me share a quote from the book that really impacted me. If we judge people only by what they can do on day one, their potential remains hidden. Potential is not a matter of where you start, but of how far you travel. I can't think of a quote that better captures the essence of what success in our industry looks like. In addition to the book, Josh sent Chick-fil-A gift cards to take for the whole office. When I called Josh to thank him for his gifts, he asked if there was some way he could be more involved with Toptier. I thought about it for a few moments, and I'm like, actually, Josh, I think I have an idea. But more on that a little bit later in the presentation. Well, we're a Florida-based company. Our reach is global. We have affiliates from over 20 countries, many of whom are here tonight in person or on the live stream. We have employees from over 15 countries, and our customers are in over 150 countries around the world. At the center of Toptier's mission is to provide opportunity to as many people as possible. In line with that mission, in late 2023, we decided to make a strong push into Latin America. Latin America is a region where lack to access of basic financial services and high inflation greatly reduces opportunities for people to improve their lives. Our Latin America expansion plans lead me to another inspiring trader story. Andres Valdez was born in Cali, Colombia. Before coming to the US, he discovered QBanks and forex prop trading. He came to America 5 years ago and put all his spare time and money into trading. Initially, Andres was only making $8 an hour doing Uber Eats. Then he upgraded to helping a wealthy real estate guy basically manage his Airbnb properties. Andres is doing everything from cleaning pools to dealing with difficult customers. Finally, after 2 years of struggle and spending $3,500 of his own limited capital on blown trading accounts, Andres was able to refine his skills enough and got a $10,000 payout. He quit his property management job shortly thereafter and never looked back. Like many other successful traders, Andres wanted to give back to the industry that had given so much to him, and he began to teach and mentor others. I knew that if we were going to expand into Latin America, I needed someone to lead that effort. When I was introduced to Andres, I knew almost immediately he was the guy. Last October, Andres joined Toptier as our head of Latin America, and we officially launched Toptier in LATAM. This has been a huge success for Toptier as we've more than tripled our market share in Latin America. Can't thank Andres enough for all his hard work. There's one final trader's journey that I want to share with you tonight, but I can't tell his story nearly as well as he can. Let's take a moment to meet Sean Godinez.
My family was, my mom was definitely low income. So I came from a low income family overall. So I never really had any real role model for a father figure. I had people come in and out and play the role. I come home from school every day and I get to go hang out with my dad and play baseball. It wasn't like that at all. So my living situation at that point, I was living with my mom in an apartment at the time. And I don't know exactly, how far we were behind on rent, but I just knew we were behind on rent. I knew I wanted to do something to really help. The very next day, I joined the Marine Corps. So it was 4 years. I started in the Marine Corps and then 4 years inactive afterwards. So you're kind of like on a standby reserve. The transition to civilian life, again, was very difficult because they don't leave you with a plan. After getting out of the Marine Corps, I didn't know what to do. At that point, that's when I signed up for a ride share service. Life got harder when there's less income coming in. As an Uber driver, you don't make that much because we ended up losing the place we were staying. So I actually went into another location and got a shed. And this wasn't a nice shed. This was a rundown, beat up shed made out of tin and wood. I couldn't believe I hit rock bottom. In the Marine Corps, I was kind of, I thought I was invincible. I thought I had everything going for me. And it all hit me like a ton of bricks. Laying in the shed, it was terrible. So I met a lot of people in Uber. It wasn't until one day when I was picking up a young kid and I drove him to a BMW dealership. But after talking to him for about 15 to 30 minutes on the way to the dealership, I realized he was actually a mentor in the currency or the foreign exchange space. It all kind of sounded too good to be true, that you can stay home and look at charts on a computer and actually make real money. But I had nothing else to lose. I was already doing Uber. I was broke every day. I reached out to him and I asked him if he can teach me the skill that he learned. Every day between rides, I'd be reading the books. Every day in between rides, I'd be looking at charts. It kind of gave me a whole new purpose on life. I think it was at the point when I knew I could make income from anywhere in the world. I had a nice withdrawal, a nice payout, and then I just never looked back. And once you have that freedom, it's really a power that there's no fear. The prop firm now, the space and the day and age we're in, it's a blessing. So what I do now, I'm a forex and futures educator. I'm a top tier educator as well. Oh yeah, we have some big, huge announcements coming up as far as top tier, since that are a little bit behind the scenes at the moment.
Sean's video and his journey reminds me of the quote from the book Josh Barnes gave me, and I think it's worth repeating here. If we judge people only by what they can do on day one, their potential remains hidden. Potential is not a matter of where you start, but of how far you travel. What I love about Sean's story is how inspiring it is to others. From the humblest of beginnings, without a role model, without any real capital, Sean was an Uber driver living in a shed to becoming a successful trader himself, eventually building his own education system to teach others. Sean has taught and mentored over 1,500 people over the last 3 years. And just like with Josh and Andres, I knew Sean was a person I wanted to find a way to work with. It's funny how life sometimes puts someone in your path at just the right moment. Sean's played an important role for Toptier that I'll come back to in a few minutes. So many of our customers are ex-military, ex-rideshare drivers, ex-food delivery people, ex-teachers, the list goes on. Having role models like Josh, Andres, Sean demonstrates that you don't need a finance degree or even a formal education to become a successful trader. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's simple. If people have the desire and discipline to learn a new skill like trading, there's no limit to what's possible. And Toptier wants to be your guide and companion on that journey. So let's talk a little bit about the industry that journey will be in. One of the interesting dynamics in our industry is the number of firms that ballooned from under 50 companies in 2021 to a peak of over 300 last year. With so many options to choose from, what makes Toptier different? First, as you heard earlier, unlike many other companies, our founders are extremely successful traders themselves. Q and Anthony are the embodiment of how transformative companies in our industry can be. As a result, Toptier has always been and will always be a trader-first organization. Nothing is more important to us than making sure we do right by our customers on their journey to financial independence. To do that, you have to be a trustworthy and transparent organization. As you saw earlier, this is one of Toptier's 4 core values. Our industry is littered with Me Too businesses that look almost identical. We even joke that you could do a find and replace on some of our competitors' websites, insert another company name, and presto, you'd have another prop trading company. This fact leads to another of our core values that I think sets us apart from our competition: our ability to innovate. Make no mistake about it, one of the biggest challenges in our industry is how difficult it is to innovate. Let me explain a little. Practically all the companies in our industry share nearly the identical back-end technology. This makes innovation extremely difficult because even when you can persuade your tech provider to add capabilities, all the companies sharing the same technology immediately get your innovation. Fortunately, Toptier has a unique relationship with our tech provider. We have our own dedicated development team which only works on our improvements, and this has allowed us to innovate when others have not. Just over the past 6 months, we've introduced several original innovations. Earlier this year, we introduced the first of its kind reward program in our industry. We reward our customers for everything from making a purchase to joining our social media or community channels. Our rewards program now boasts over 10,000 members. We're also fortunate to have one of the largest and most engaged Discord communities in the industry, with over 35,000 active Discord members. I want to give a quick shout out to Joe Banks, who runs our Discord community and, in my opinion, is the best Discord leader in the industry. In fact, Joe flew in all the way from South Africa just to be here for tonight's event. Joe, great to have you on the team, and it was wonderful to finally meet you in person. Quick. Our investment in the right tools and people have enabled us to solve one of the trickier problems for any business: creating a community. We love our community and are grateful to have a community that loves us back. One of the next industry problems that we tackled was the products can be complicated and confusing. So we simplified our product to a single account type that allow customers to fully customize their trading account. This lets users select the trading options which best match their trading style and their risk threshold. We even created a quick and easy trader quiz to help them figure out the best configuration for themselves. Our trader quiz remains the only one of its kind in the industry. Another obstacle the industry faces is the time it takes for traders to get their trading payouts. Many firms in our industry can take weeks to send a trader's payouts to their bank account or crypto wallet. Again, Toptier added people and processes so that our successful traders get paid in 24 hours or less. In fact, we're so confident in our ability to deliver on this promise that if we miss the 24-hour deadline by even a minute, we pay our customers an extra $1,000. Our marketing geniuses even came up with the tagline, "Get paid in one day or we give you 1K." Worldwide accessibility was our next challenge. If you're planning to serve another country, you must speak its language. We have complete end-to-end translation in both English and Spanish, one of only a handful of companies to do so. But we've recently re-architected our product so we can fully control our offering by country. Before the year is over, we will have our product customized in over 20 countries. Again, Toptier will be the first to do so. While the innovations I've mentioned already are interesting, the next two announcements are true game changers for our industry. Today, we are officially announcing the launch of an exciting new product called Levels. The best way to think about Levels is the gamification of trading, but with a purpose. Levels helps traders get better by taking much of the emotion out of trading by eliminating the money aspect of their trades. Users simply try to get better at reading the charts and getting in and out of their trades at the right time, which is a critical skill for any trader. And add to that, traders can get up to a $50,000 cash payout if they're able to reach our top level. We even have a version of the product that's entirely free, so you can try the product before purchasing a Levels challenge. We're just finishing up our beta period with a core group of our Discord users and plan to fully launch Levels later this month. So if you're interested in being one of the first people to try Levels, please go to our Discord Levels channel to find out our final release date, or keep an eye out for our social media channels. Now, before I move on to our final, at least for now, and most important addition to the Toptier ecosystem, I'm reminded of a Steve Jobs quote. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Ultimately, Toptier is a product company. And as a product company, nothing's more important than the opinion of our customers. One of Toptier's core values is always put our customers first. To find out what our customers wanted, we did several focus groups, both in person here in Miami and virtually around the world. In focus group after focus group, we heard the same thing. Teach us how to be successful traders and we'll be loyal customers for life. Invest in us and we'll invest in Toptier. We also knew that a significant number of traders in our industry started their journey through mentors they found on social media or through a variety of education courses. Many of these courses are expensive, and one-on-one mentorship can cost tens of thousands of dollars. As I was getting to know people like Josh, Andres, and Sean, they all told me a very similar story. Part of the reason the journey took longer than it should was because there was no information. They had no way to properly evaluate, the information that was out there. Without already being a good trader, people don't have the knowledge and expertise to know what's good advice and what isn't. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. We realized that part of the value we could bring to our customers was to save them a tremendous amount of time. As a result of those insights, today we are officially announcing Toptier Academy. Hold on a second here. Toptier Academy is 100% free. An amazing education platform. Our academy will guide someone who doesn't know anything about trading all the way through how to be a successful trader. The content's broken down into short, easy to digest sections where people take quizzes along their journey to make sure they're mastering the content. They can even study on their iOS or Android phones through our mobile app. And here's the most exciting part. Every individual that completes the academy automatically gets a free 5K account. And then they can try out their newly acquired trading knowledge for free. You may recall from earlier in the presentation that I had an idea about how Josh and Toptier could work together. That idea was Toptier Academy. We needed someone to own the creation of Toptier Academy, and Josh agreed to join Toptier to lead those efforts. Sean Godinez came on a couple of months later and has been critical in helping build out the curriculum. Now, Josh and Sean didn't do it alone. With help from Brittany, Andres, and a host of other wonderful educators, creators, designers, and developers, Toptier Academy is now a reality. And consistent with our commitment to our global community, Toptier Academy is available both in English and Spanish. If you go to our website now, you'll see the new menu item for Toptier Academy. We can't wait to have you experience our fantastic education content and for you to begin your trading journey with Toptier. As we look to wrap up, I don't know how many of you have ever watched any of Steve Jobs' old keynote speeches, but just about when you thought he was done with his presentation, he would say, "Oh, and one more thing." So, doing my best to channel Steve Jobs, we do have one more thing. While coming out with a free education program was our goal, we asked ourselves, how could we make an even bigger impact? Learning on your own is one thing, but learning in a collaborative environment, being mentored by highly credible and profitable traders is another. On August 15th, we will be launching Toptier Academy Plus. For those that complete Toptier Academy, or for people that already have some trading experience but want to level up, we're going to be offering 5 live 1-hour education sessions every single week where we cover trading fundamentals, technical analysis, personal development, and psychology. That's over 20 hours a month of high-quality education. It will also include private access to our new Toptier Academy Discord community so that everyone can learn and grow together. If you want to continue to see and hear more of Josh and Sean, as well as some of our other fantastic instructors, I encourage you to join Toptier Academy Plus. So please stay on the lookout for more information coming later this month. Before I invite Brittany back on stage to wrap things up, let me leave you with one more thought from a quote I came across as I thought about today's presentation and what we're trying to accomplish. Whatever we touch, we leave fingerprints. As we touch other people's lives, we leave our identity in them. Life is better when you're happy, but life is at its best when others are happy because of you. Thank you to everyone, both here in person and on our live stream, for your time and attention. Brittany, why don't you come back up and wrap things up for us and tell people what's next for the evening.
Thank you, Dave. Give it up for Dave Gutman. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Woo! Now, we've shared some, what I would like to believe, very exciting things with you this evening. Just to recap, Dave took us through where Toptier is, and again, more importantly, where Toptier is headed, showcasing things like the expansion of Latam, the rewards program, the customizable challenge, 24-hour payouts, which I know a lot of the individuals in the crowd and the live stream and a lot of our community is extremely excited about, worldwide access, levels, and of course, we cannot forget about Toptier Academy that is officially launched today, and of course, Toptier Academy Plus. That will truly be able to bridge the gap between unprofitable traders to profitable traders. Now, inspiration is the name of the game. The driving force behind this keynote and even why Q, Anthony, Nick, and Jamal created Toptier is because they wanted others to have the same opportunity as them and to have the same level of success as them. Now, from Q, Anthony, Nick, Jamal, and Dave, the question has been and continues to be, how can we expand the universe of people that have access to this information? Now, by highlighting stories like Andreas, Sean, Josh, we aim to inspire a broader community by demonstrating that this truly is available to anyone who dares to be great. Now, let me leave you with something and a video that captures the essence of what we're trying to do.
Who told us that we are confined to our circumstance? Why is it that we only imagine success being possible for a lucky few? What separates us from them? The answer is nothing. Success is achievable for everyone, and it is not reserved for anyone. We are used to invisible barriers, trapping us in lives we didn't envision for ourselves. Those barriers aren't real. They never were. You don't have to just watch others achieve their dreams. You can do it yourself. Top-tier trader, where winners trade.
Shout out to the Dreamer team for putting that together. Now, yes, give it up, give it up, give it up. Now, again, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for the first ever Toptier Keynote here in person with us, and of course, those who are tuning in virtually as well. For those of us who are live with us here in person, the event will continue just in the next room for drinks. Andreas, Sean, Josh, Dave, Jamal, Nick, Q, Anthony will all be there, so make sure to network, connect, have a good time. And for those individuals who are tuning into the live stream, we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone.